Right. Okay. This is the fourth video of the video series, logarithm and indices video series. Now, as you can see, the topic is logarithm of decimal numbers less than 1 and antilog. Actually, I have combined two topics in the textbook, oral textbook, to one topic because all these things I am giving in one video, right? But here's the thing. At this level, grade 11 level, students are expected to know how to get logarithm or log value of decimal numbers more than 1. 0. Sorry, more than 1. So here now the topic is less than 1. But since A-level students are also watching this video and some of you might have forgotten, I am doing logarithms of numbers more than 1 as well, theory. Okay, so I will be doing theory of more than 1, less than 1, then antilog, right? So the idea is simple. So first I will do more than 1. How to get the log value? So I have drawn the view of the log tables which you are going to get in the exam, right? It's a book like this. So what you have to do is this: when you turn the pages, you must find a page in the page where it is written. The topic in the top should be logarithms, right? Not natural logarithms, right? We have logarithmic cosines. When you go back, right? Logarithmic sines, natural tangents, and those things you have, right? So you have to get logarithms, right? Not any other thing. When you get there, you will find a table. Starting from this row, first row is going to be 10. Then you are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 columns, right? But in reality, or when understanding this, you only have 3 columns. This is the first column, right? This is the first column. These two are the second column, and this column is the third column. So I have marked with broken line. This line actually is drawn only for you to for your ease, right? Like see better, right? There is no meaning to this line, right? This column is just divided into 2 just for you to see better. It has no logical meaning. But these 3 columns are 3 different columns, right? 1, these two together, right? Okay. Now, more than 1, logarithmic value, we are going to get log value of a number more than 1. Now, I am going to take an example of log base 10. This table gives always log values of base 10, right? Logarithmic values of base 10. So I am going to take the log value of base 10. So you can write LG if you want. So I am going to take just the normal value and take the log, right? So I will take 23.14. I am trying to get the log value of this number. Log to the base 10. Now if somebody asks, LG 23.1, right? So first you have to write this in scientific notation. So that is the first step. First step, scientific notation. That is, you take this and you have to bring the decimal point. Only one number could be in front of the decimal point, right? And you have to write the rest as a 10 to the power. Now, if you don't know how to write a number in scientific notation, what do you have to do? Google, right? Because these are very small things. Scientific notation is not a very hard thing. You can just Google, right? There will be enough videos, and there is not going to be any change because of syllabus or anything, right? Google how to convert numbers to scientific notation. They will get enough videos, right? So learn that from the internet. Okay. So now you have to learn how to write in scientific notation. I am not teaching that in the video. Okay. Right. Once you convert it to scientific notation, it is very easy. Step 2. Find the, give me a minute. Step 2. Identify the characteristic. Identify the characteristic. Identify the characteristic. Very simple. Once you wrote this in the scientific notation, characteristic, it is very easy to identify the characteristic. It is simply this number. Whatever the value on whatever the power of 10, that is the characteristic, right? So now for this one I am teaching only when the power is 0 or positive number. Okay, so it should be 0 or positive number. If negative number, I will tell what to do. Okay? So if 0 positive number, you have to write like this. Imagine it was 10 to the power 0, then you have to put like this. If it was positive number, now like this one, 1, you have to write like this and put a dot. Right? Imagine you had a minus number. That one I will come in less than 1 situation, right? So first I will take this. Now if it was 0 or 1 or 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6, right? You just have to write that number and put a dot. Write the number, put a dot. Okay, now we are finding log 23.14 value. Okay, using the table. Just follow these steps. What to do? Writing scientific notation. Identify the characteristic. Then, what you have to do is you have to fill something here. Okay, behind the one. Just blindly follow the steps for now. So what you have to do, in this table, I will write 23 somewhere here. In this table, you have to go up to 23. Now you identify 23. Here is 23. Right? Why do you go to 23? Because in this number, first 2 digits are what? 23. First 2 digits you have to find from this column. We have from 10 to 99. First 2 digits of this number you have to get from this column. Okay. So you go to first two digits, then you have 23. Now imagine you had 2.3. You have to get the value of this. Still you are going to find for 23. Yeah? It doesn't always have to be like this. It can be even 230. See 1.4. Still you go to get 23. The first two numbers, don't think about the decimal point anything. Right? Why? Because we have thought about the decimal point before. Here, that's why you get here 1. For example, if you had to get log 2.314, 2. Then in the scientific notation you will get what? 2.314 into 10 to the power 0, right? 10 to the power 0 is just 1. So you will get here 0. After that you have to think about the numbers. So first two numbers which you mean 23. Okay. Imagine you had 231. Then you will get here. Then you write, imagine you have to get log 230, 31.4. So you write 2.314 into 10 to the power 2. This is the scientific notation. Then 2. Here this number, that is the characteristic, right? Right? This is the characteristic. So LG value will be 2 point something, right? So depending on the decimal point, this number will change, right? After that you have to just check for 23, right? So here, this example, first two digits are, I'll take the first example. 23, you go to 23. Then 1. You go to 23rd row. Now this is the 23rd row. Now there are numbers in that row. Okay? You go to 23rd row. Then there is another digit after that, right? So that is 1. So you find 23 and the next digit is 1. So you go through the first column. Right? Column under number 1. Nah? So you have numbers under 0 like this. Right? Written. Then under 1 numbers. In the logbook you will find. Turn the logbook you will see 2. So under 3, 4. Right? So you have to go to number 1 column. And here you will find the value. Okay? 23. First column. 23 because it is 1. First column. So once you find the value, what is the value? 23 first column value is 3636. So you are going to find 3636 here. Right? So these two digits you get from first column. This one, second column, right? Column NN. So you get this value. You write it somewhere, right? So I'm writing 3636 here, okay? Because I don't have space. 3636. Then in the same row, now this is that row, the logbook that row. The same row, you get this from the first column, this from the second column, so you meet this number. This is first column, that row, 23rd row. Then 1. Then 4. You go to 4 and come down. So this one shows a row, 23 shows a row. These two are columns, right? So you go to 4 and you have numbers under 4 columns also like this, right? So if for 3 also you are going to have numbers. You go to fourth one and you come to a point where you process this row again. So you find a value, you will find a value there. So here 23, 1, 4. So in my book it is 7. So you will find the value 7. Right? That 4 came from this one. Huh? Third column. First column, I will write number row. So third column, you will find number 7. Now you found number 7. What do you have to do? Come here and add to this. This number plus this number. You have to add the number which you got from here and there. Right? When you add, you will get 7 plus 3646. You come here and just write that number. 3640. That is the log value of 23.1. Okay. Right? Right. So, please pause the video and write everything down. Next I will be doing for a number, another example for number more than 1, because this is only one example. Since it is the first one, I will be doing 2 examples. After that I will be discussing less than. So pause the video, write this down. I will do this. For the next example, I am taking 143.2 value. I want the log value of that. So first step, scientific notation. How to write 143.2? 1.43 2 into 10 to the power 2. Right? Then identify the characteristic. Here is my characteristic. I come here and write that one. Put the decimal. Okay. Just after you write the characteristic, put the decimal. Now, the decimal, right? These are questions, right? Okay. So I identified 2 as the characteristic, wrote it and put the decimal. Then, now I have to go 14, 14, 14, then third column, I will come down, so this is the 14th row, then third column for this number, 14 I got the row, third column, so now this number, what is that number? 14, 3, 1553. 1553. You also check the logbook with me. 1553. Then what do you do? 14 column third row. Then you take the second column from this one. So this is that row. Second column down, 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 down. Here you will meet another value. What is that value? 2. You will get 6. What do you have to do? Get this value. 1553 plus 6. So you will get 1559. So just come here and type 1559. That is the log value of 143 point. Right? Okay. I will do one more example for more than 1. Yes, one more example for more than 1. Then we'll go to the next one. Okay. The next example is this. Please write this down. I will take 1.34. 1.234. So scientific notation 1.234. Now you have the decimal point just there, you need it. So you don't have to multiply by any 10 to the power. So it is 10 to the power 0. 10 to the power 0 is 1, as I said before. So LG 1.234. So I wrote in the scientific notation. Now I identify the characteristic as 0. You write 0. Then what do you do? First column 12. First row, sorry, 12. I have that row. Then 3. You go find 3. 12, 3. 12, 3. 0, 8, 9, 9. 0, 8, 9, 9. Then you go to the fourth column. 40. 40. So you have to add 14 to 0899. I will erase this. 0899 plus 14. That will be 13, 11, 900. So we have to make sure to put the 0 here. Okay. Don't write 930. This 931. We have to put the 0. Right? Here yes. They have given 0, 8, 9. Okay. Yes. Right up to this point. Right? I hope it is clear. Pause the video. Write it down. Okay. Now next I have to discuss getting log value when less than 1. That means what? 0 point values. Okay. So less than 1 situation. Still the steps are same. I will write 0 point 0, 1, 3, 6, 9. Right? 0.1369. So when you write in the scientific notation, you have to have 1.369, right? This will be the number into 10 to the power minus 2, 1, 2, right? 10 to the power minus 2. Now, here you have the characteristic as minus 2. Okay? But the characteristic as minus 2. So you identify the characteristic as minus 2. If they ask what is the characteristic, you have to say minus 2. But the only difference with the previous method, is instead of writing minus 2, you just write a bar. So, a bar and decimal. Yup. I will write 0.01369. You don't write minus 2, you write bar 2. Right? You have a line in front of the, above the 2. Right? Line above 2. That is it. Rest of the things, method is same. Now, you don't go for zeros here. Then, first number 13, right? So, you have to get 13, right? In the previous ones also, if you had a positive number, 1 point, say I take 12.3, you can put enough zeros in front, right? So you didn't go for these ones. So you have to go for the first number, right? Okay, not zeros. So 13, now you can have a number like this now. So here it is 10. Right, the first row of zeros you have to avoid. Like, as long as if you have at least one number, from that point you have to start. Okay. So now, other than 0. So 13, that is the row. Column 6. You have to find the number here. What is 13, 6? 1335. 1335 and 9. 13, 6, 9 is 29. So what do you have to do? Same method, nothing different. 1335, you have to add 29. Once you add, you will get 14, 6, 13, 6. So this is how you get log value of a negative, log value of a number less than 1. Right? Just the only difference is you will have a bar, and you are going to avoid the numbers avoid zeros until you get one number. Right? So here I have to give specifically this example. So imagine you got a number like this. So you have to avoid all these zeros, then you have to start from 10. Because you have 10 here. Right, 10, third, 4 for this example, which I wrote, right? So, yes, I hope it is clear. Yes, please write this down. Next we will discuss antilog. Next we will discuss antilog. 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 Right. In this section, I will first take number more than 1, but there's no difference actually. I will take say 2 point. So somebody is asking me, get me the antilog value of 2.31. Okay. So antilog, not log, antilog. That is actually the reverse of logarithm. Right? Antilog value is the reverse of logarithm. So what you have to do? What you have to do to get the antilog? Forget about this number. This is the characteristic which you identified previously. So the decimal number, the number before the decimal, forget about that completely first. Do not even look at it. That number, forget about it. Rest of the numbers, right? Here 3, 1, 4, 2. You have to find from these columns. Okay? So here what you have to do, from this column, not from this column, from this column, just like this, right? Your antilog is doing the reverse of logarithm. So you have to go down until you find 3, 1, 4, 2, right? So I will write what is in each column. Here first column of 0th column of, right? Here 0, 0, 0. Here 0, 4, 1, 4. 0, 7, 9, 2. 1, 6, 1. 1, 7, 9. See, these values increase downwards. You can go until you find a point which you are going to find a value more than this one. 3, 1, 4, 2. Right? So you will find that value 3, 1, 4, 2. 3, 1, 4, 2. You will exceed 3, 1, 4. I am erasing it. You will exceed 3, 1, 4, 2. Here from the 0 column. Once you go to 21, 3, 2, 2, 2, you will get. That is bigger than this. So you have to then go to the 20th column. Now, if you exceed in the 21st, go to this one, right? So 3, 0, 1, 0. So this is the 0th column. So here 3, 2, 2, 2 in the 0. If you exceed, go to 20. Right? Now from that side, that row, you have to go in that row until you find a value which is lesser than 3142, but which is closest to 3142. So what you are going to do, next value, so in the first column, in the 0th column, first column you are going to get 3032. Next column you get 3054, 3096, Then fifth column 3118, still less than 314. Next column 3139, still less than 314. Next column 3160. So you will exceed in seventh column 3160. So you have to go to the lesser one. Huh? So value closest to 3142 but lesser. So that value here you will find 3139. Okay. So now you found this point. If you find up to this point, then most of the things are over, right? So what we have to do, now you found this value, the row corresponding to that, 6 is the row, 20 is the row, go and write it here. Okay. Now since I don't have space to write the equal mark, I will write it. So I found it in the 20th row. Column corresponding to that value, write it here. Are we done yet? No. Then you go to this value, write it down, 3142, and the value you got 3139. Below it, subtract. So what did we do? Row corresponding to it we wrote here, column corresponding to it we wrote here, value corresponding to it we wrote here, that value, right? Then I wrote this value. Then I am going to subtract. When I subtract 3, answer is 3. Okay? Now what you have to do, you have to find value closest to 3 from this column, right? So in that column, so 20th row, that column, first one, you are going to find 2, next 4, after 6, 8, and it goes on. So what is closest to 3? This one. You have to take the lesser value. Closer and lesser. Closest and lesser. So closest and lesser value is 1. There. Right? I will repeat the steps. You are moving your eye from here in this 0 column. Once it exceeds the value, you are coming to the row, top row. Then you start going to the side until you get a value which is closest but lesser than 3142. Once you identify that value, you write the row here, then you write the column here, then you write the value, you write the initial value, subtract, and you get the number. Then you get the value lesser and closer. Lesser than that 3, but closest to it from this segment, which is now 2. And you write it here, the column number. You don't write 2 here. You write the column corresponding. That is 1. Right? Okay. Once you come up to that point, you put the decimal point just after the first number. Whatever the number it is, just put the decimal point. Right? Just put the decimal point after the first number. Then write 10. Just put the decimal point, write 10. And now, can you remember in the beginning of the task, I said don't even look at the number before the decimal point, right? I said don't even look at it. Once you've done all of this, now it's time to look at it, right? Whatever the number here, write it on, right, as a power. If the number is 2, write 10 to the power 2. So this is how you get the antilog. Okay. Now we'll do another example, but this time, please write this down. Pause the video and write it down. In this example, are we having a number like this? Antilog, I will directly write the question. Bar 1, 3, this bar 1.2, 1, 4, 3. Okay? I will go. So, first step, identify the characteristics. Forget about the characteristic. Forget about power. Right? Then 2, 1, 4, 3. I'm going down this row until I get a value more than 2, 1, 4, 3. So I'm going down and I need at the 17th line 2, 3, 0, 4. 2, 3, 0, 4. And 16, then I have 2, 0, 4, 1. Okay? Then I identify this one. So this is the one we can see. So I identify this one. Then I want 2, 1, 4, 3. I go to first row, first column. So 2, 1, 4, 3. No, 2, 0, 6, 8 I have. Next one 2, 0, 9, 5. 2, 1, 2, 2. Right? So third column I get 2, 1, 2, 2. Right? So I write that here. I identify that. You don't write that there. Put the equal mark. What is the row? 16. What is the column? Column is 2, 1, 2, 2. Third column, right? You get in the third column. Then write 2, 1, 4, 3 from this one. The value you got from here. Subtract. You get 1, 2. Get 21. Then from this column you have to find closest to 21 less than 21. Or equal to 25 is also fine. Huh? So 16, 1 row. Here you have 3, 5, 8, 11, 13, 16, 18, 21. So 8 column you have 21. You can directly take that because it is closer or lesser or equal. Equal is fine. Huh? So you write 8. So you are going to find 21 in the 8th column. You write that one, put the decimal point, put 10. Now 10 to the power. Characteristic is bar 1. Bar 1 means minus 1. So you have to put the characteristic as minus 1. Right? So this is how you get the antilog value. Okay. So under this section we are going to discuss exercise 3.1, question number 3. Question number 1 and 2 I am not going to discuss because it is directly theory, right? Because for the same method I taught in the board they have to do and you can get the answer, right? So question number 3, when it comes to that, the question is express each of the following numbers as a power of 10. Now this one is, when you look at the question it feels like we didn't do this, right? But actually it is not that hard, right? So I will be starting with now. They haven't given any positive number, so I will be starting with a positive number. I will take not a positive. They haven't given any number greater than 1. I will be starting with a number greater than 1. So I am going to start with 1.342. Right? So this is not in the question. So I take this. For this question I take 1.34. Now someone is asking to express this as a power of 10. So like which power of 10 will give you this value? Now you know 10 to the power 1 will give you 10. 2 will give you 100. So which power will give this? Right? So now I am going to start. 0 will be 1. So it will be like 0.33 or 234, something like that. So we have to find this. So how are we going to do this? I am going to take the log value of 1.342. Now as you know, what the logbook gives is what? LG means log base 10 value. So now I have taught how to find the log value. From the first column you take 13 and in that row you go till 4. So you will find 1271 and then you in the same row you will get to second column of the mean difference. So that will be 6. That will be now this part I have taught. You have to go and check the theory how to get this 0. I just took the log value. Why is it 0 point? Because when you write this in the scientific notation, characteristic is 0. Then next I went 13th row, 4th column. Then I added what is in this second column to this one. Okay, please check out the if you want, go back to the first part of the video and get the method to do this. Right. Once you come up to this point, it's very simple. I have taught a to the power b if it is equal to c. Then I have said log A, B, C. Then previous video I got A to the power B equals, you remember like this, common error, A to the power B equals. Same thing here. 10 to this power is equal to 1.342. Okay. So write this down. Now, in this exercise, they have given I will take D as an example. 0.01175. So when it comes to that section, log base 0.01175. Now, first you have to write this in scientific notation, right? This one. So you write 1175 10 to the power minus 2. Then bar 2. Okay, characteristic is bar 2. I'm taking the logarithm. Bar 2. Then 1175 instead of 1175. I go to 11th row. Seven, 0, 6, 7, 2. Five. That is 90. 0, 6, 8, 2. 9, 10, 11. So you will get the value 0701, right? Now, next step is what? Yeah, if you want in the rough words, I will write that time. And you write this in the scientific notation. Yeah. Here when you take it as a 10 to the power, what will happen? 10 to the power bar 206. Now the answer is not that nice, right? So what you have to do, if they ask you this question, before you come to this part, do this. Right. Here, this is what? Minus 2. Bar 2 means minus 2, right? Plus 0.076. Because it is bar 2, you put minus. And this value, whatever you write it here, and put a 0 point. That's 0.07. Then you have to subtract. That is minus 1.0. Then you wrong line. Next row, 10 to the power. Pause the video like this. That's it for this video. Exercise 3.2 we will not be discussing because first one is scientific rotation, which I told you to research, and second one is antilog, which is exactly you have to do once again just like the theory. So we will not be doing that exercise. We will have the quiz just below the video. Click and do it. You will have the link to the website also in the video itself. Most probably the quiz link will not be in the YouTube description. You will have the website video. You go to the site and take the quiz. Okay. And there you will have the flow of the videos correctly.